Today we're going to be reading chapters 38 through 40 in There's a Boy in the Girl's Bathroom. Today we're going to be focusing on author's craft, and that's usually just kind of thinking about why the author did a particular thing that they did. So what we're going to be looking at today is, why does the author include chapter 39 in this story? What's the purpose of this short chapter, and how does it help you better understand the plot as the reader? Okay, so we're going to be looking at 39, and we're going to be exploring, why did the author include this short chapter, and how does it help you as the reader understand the plot better? Okay, all right, so let's begin. Chapter 38. Bradley Chalker's homework. Look at, guys, he's doing it. Book report. My Parents Didn't Steal an Elephant by Uriah C. Lasso. Miss Evil's class, room 12, Red Hill School, last seat, last row, next to Jeff. My Parents Didn't Steal an Elephant by Uriah C. Lasso by Bradley Chalkers. My Parents Didn't Steal an Elephant was a very funny, crazy book by Uriah C. Lasso, a funny author to write such a book. It was a story told by a kid. The kid's parents are in jail because they stole an elephant, except they are innocent. Hey, I just realized something. You know what? You never know the kid's name. I just realized that. You know what else, too? You don't know if the kid is a boy or a girl. I just realized that right now as I'm writing this book report, because I didn't know whether to write he or she. I told you it was crazy. The kid lives with his aunt and uncle. They're crazy, too. They put wallpaper up in the garage for no reason. I told you they were crazy. Ace is crazy too. He's the lawyer for the kid's parents. He makes the kid practice crying for an hour every day so the kid will be able to cry good in court. Only when the kid finally gets to court, the kid doesn't cry. The kid laughs. Then everybody else laughs too. Then the kid's parents get to go home because they're innocent. Except, do you want to know something? I'm not so sure. I mean, if they really were really innocent, who ate all those peanuts? I told you it was crazy. The end? The end. Absolutely wonderful, said Carla. Is it good? Asked Bradley. You captured the very essence of the book. He smiled, even though he didn't know what essence meant. They were sitting around the round table. It was Thursday before school. Bradley had to turn in his book report to Miss Evil, but he wanted Carla to see it first, just in case he ripped it up. Carla was wearing a fluffy pink sweater. I always wondered what happened to the peanuts, too, she said. Me too, said Bradley, and they could have hid the elephant in the garage. That's why they put wallpaper there, to cover up the fingerprints. Do elephants have fingerprints? Asked Carla. Maybe they have trunk prints, he laughed. Well, I have to go to Miss Evil's class. Here's your book back. Thank you. I didn't write on it or spill food or anything. I'd like for you to keep it, said Carla. It's my present to you. But I thought it was one of your favorite books. It is. That's why I want to give it to you. If I didn't like it, then it wouldn't be much of a present, would it? He smiled. I wish I had a present to give you, he said. You already gave me one. I did? What was it? The book report. The smile left his face. What's the matter? Well, I'm supposed to give it to Miss Evil, but that's okay. You can have it. It wouldn't be much of a present if I didn't want it to. Carla laughed and shook her head. Oh, that's very sweet, Bradley, but that's not what I meant. I want you to give it to Miss Evil. It just makes me very happy that you did such a wonderful job. That's the present you gave me. Really? Really, said Carla. It was the best present I could have gotten. He thought it was great. He was able to give it to Carla and still give it to Miss Evil. What's wrong? Carla wiped her eyes. The corners of her mouth trembled. Are you crying? He asked. Bradley, I have something I have to tell you, she said. I hope you can listen to what I have to say without feeling scared or upset. He suddenly felt very scared and upset. Tomorrow will be my last day here at Red Hill School. Huh? That's why I'm so glad you've written such a wonderful book report. I know you can continue to do good work without me. I'm very proud of you. You're leaving? She nodded. I've been transferred. I'll be teaching kindergarten at Willow Bend School. But I want to thank you, Bradley. You made my short time here very special. I'm so glad we got to know each other. You're leaving? We can still see each other, she said. Saturday, He shook his head. No, you can't go. It's not fair. I have to. He couldn't believe it. What if I don't do my homework? Then you'll have to stay and make me want to do it again. She smiled warmly at him. Her blue eyes glistened. You're on your own now, Bradley. I know you'll do wonderfully. No, it's not fair. He stood up. You tricked me. Carla stood too. She walked around the table toward him. I hate you, he shouted in her face. I know you don't mean that. Yes, I do. I hate your stupid book too. He picked up My Parents Didn't Steal an Elephant by Uriah C. Lasso and threw it at her. Then he picked up his book report. Bradley, please. He ripped it in half. He stretched his mouth so wide it was hard to tell whether it was a smile or a frown. Now remember how that had changed. That's how it was at the beginning. Then it became a real smile, and now it's going back to this smile. He tore his book report again and dropped the pieces on the floor. I hate you, he shouted, then ran out of her office. He cried into the boys' bed. Ran into the boys' bathroom. He leaned over the sink and cried. His face throbbed as he watched the water wash down the drain. There was a knock on the bathroom door. Bradley, said Carla, are you all right? Go away, he yelled. I hate you. The door slowly opened, and she stepped inside. You're not allowed in here, he said. I think it's important that we talk, said Carla. That's how friends handle their problems, by talking about them. That's why we've become such good friends, because we've learned to talk to each other. I'm not your friend. Why would I want to be a friend with you? I hate you. I like you, Bradley. I can like you, can't I? You don't have to like me. Remember, she said that at the very beginning. I'm not going to Colleen's birthday party, he said, and I don't like Jeff either, and I'm never going to do my homework ever, and I'm going to fail all my tests. Look, he's going back to the old Bradley. Do you want to know what I think? I think you're worried that now that I'm leaving, everything will turn bad again. You think that Jeff won't like you anymore, and Colleen won't want you to come to her party, and Miss Ebel will give you bad grades no matter how hard you try. This is the boys' bathroom. But it wasn't me who magically changed you, Bradley, he said. It was you. You're not Cinderella, and I'm not Prince Charming. You're not allowed in here, he said coldly. Saturday, I'm going to need someone to help me move all my things out of the office, she said. I would appreciate it very much if you would come and help me. Then afterward, we could have lunch together. We can go to the restaurant, just the two of us. He wanted to go to her, to hug her in her soft pink sweater, but he couldn't. He felt like his insides were being ripped apart. It'll be lots of fun, said Carla. And it would be a great help to me. I have to use the toilet. Maybe I'll see you on Saturday, said Carla. I would like that very much. She turned and walked out the door. Bradley stayed in the bathroom until the bell rang. Then he went home sick. Chapter 39. Now here's the one we're going to be paying attention to. Why did he include this chapter? Ronnie hopped along singing dooby dooby dooby. All the other animals were gathered together. What are you doing? Asked Ronnie. We're talking, said the lion. And you can't listen, said the kangaroo. Oh, okay, said Ronnie. She waited for the other animals to finish talking. The other animals finished talking. We finished talking, the lion told Ronnie. We took a vote. We don't like you anymore. Ronnie hopped away. Suddenly, she fell into quicksand. Help, she cried. Bartholomew, save me. No, I won't, said Bartholomew, and I'm not going to marry you either. Ronnie sank into the quicksand and died. Now remember how he would kind of pretend play with his friends, with his pretend friends, about some of the things that were going on with him and some of the feelings that he had. So I wonder if you could help figure out what are some of the feelings that he has through this pretend scene that he just played out with his friends, his pretend friends. Chapter 40. Bradley's mother took his temperature and told him he was normal. I'm not, he argued. He's not normal, Claudia agreed. He's bizarre. Bradley felt as if his stomach were tied in a knot. Every time he thought about Carla, he felt the knot pull tighter. I hate her. I hate her, he repeated as he slowly walked to school. When he said he hated her, the knot in his stomach loosened just a little bit. He sat at his desk in the back of Miss Ebel's room. Last seat, last row. Hi, Bradley, said Jeff, sitting down next to him. Where were you yesterday? Were you sick? He didn't answer. Jeff wasn't his friend. He didn't have any friends. Bradley, called Miss Ebel, will you come here, please? He dragged his feet to her desk. I was sick yesterday, he told her. Call my mom if you don't believe me. Mrs. Ebel waved that away. I just wanted to tell you how much I enjoyed your book report, she said. It made me want to read the book. Huh? Miss Davis gave it to me yesterday, Miss Ebel told him. She explained how she accidentally ripped it up. He stared at her, amazed, then noticed his book report taped together, lying on Miss Ebel's desk. At the very top, in red ink, was the word excellent. I gave you a gold star, said Miss Ebel. He picked up his book report and ran to his desk. There it was, next to the name Bradley Chalkers, a gold star. He slowly sat down as he stared at it. It seemed to shine brighter than all the other stars. The knot in his stomach jerked tight, and he had to look away. The star reminded him of Carla. She's such a liar, he thought. She said she accidentally tore it up when I was the one who did it. I hate her. He shoved the book report in the back of his desk. The knot loosened. He walked all recess. The other boys called to him from the basketball court, but he pretended not to hear him. He just kept walking. Okay, he decided. I'll go see her at lunch. I'll just say goodbye to her, that's all. Everyone is looking for you to play basketball, Jeff said when he returned to class. I told him you were still sick from yesterday. I'm not sick, said Bradley. I'm normal. When the bell rang for lunch, he walked to Mrs. Ebel's desk to ask for a hall pass. Yes, Bradley, she said. He couldn't talk. The knot in his stomach was so tight it choked off his vocal cords. He stuck his hands in his pocket and walked outside. He sat in the far corner of the playground. Twice he thought he saw Carla. The first time it was a third-grade girl. The second time it was a tree. His stomach was too knotted up to eat anything. I saw Carla, Jeff told him after lunch. I went to her office to say goodbye. She said she would like to see you. She said she would wait in her office after school for you in case you wanted to talk to her. She asked me to tell you that. Bradley closed his eyes until the knot loosened. Don't you even want to say goodbye to her? Jeff asked. He shook his head. He could picture her waiting in her office for him. He would walk in. She would say, Hello, Bradley. It's a pleasure to see you today. I appreciate your coming to see me. She might even kiss him again. When the final bell rang, he walked directly home. The knot inside him tightened with every step he took. I hate her. I hate her. I hate her.